right and everything, and we will get this right. There we go. Get that going down. Let's see how many people we get here. We had a lot going on this week. This week here, I've been like really busy with a lot of the phone calls and everything from people coming in here. We have a lot of people coming in for the next 6 or 7 months, and they're coming to this area right here. And a lot of them have been calling me and telling me, what do I need to do to get ready and everything, and I've been helping them get ready. But today I also went to Panda Express, so I had a little bit of time away and everything. It's sinful, says Michael. Let's see, we got 2 people, 4 people. Let's get a few more people on here. We can get rolling here. But yeah, it's been a busy week. But it's been a good week, and it's been a hot one here lately. As you guys noticed, my color is a little bit different. I put in some different lights here, and they're like a cool, not, I don't know what kind of lighting they are, but it's a different type of lighting, and it makes it look better around the house. I notice. I like it. And there's Joe Cunningham. Let's see, Jean's on board. We get a whole bunch. That's good. We got some women on here tonight. It's always good to have. But if you guys want to start shooting questions, we're already up to 18 people here. This is good. So we're on a roll tonight. And let's see. Winston Herring Jr. says, "Hi, Steve. Lazy Larry. Jeff Strong. Good evening, Steve. Smoky Mountains signing on from Davao." There we go. So Smoky Mountains from Davao now. That's good. I think you should keep that name though. I just like it. Michael L says the color temperature of the lights seem different. Yes, it is. That's what we were just talking about. It's a nicer color, I think, to be honest with you. It makes me look like the orange man, but in the room here, it looks much better and it seems nicer. Charlie says, "Good evening, Steve. Sinful says, been hot, but I am cool with my new AC in my TV room." That's good. Sinful's had to change it because his other one was old and it was using a lot of electricity. He was showing me his electric bill was pretty high. Mark Lapierre, good morning, Steve. Evening for you. Charles and Annalyn W. Hello, everyone from San Remigio. Charlie says, "Hi. I arrived in Bohol 2 weeks ago." We have a lot of new people here this week that have been coming in. I'm actually going to be picking up a few people this week, I think, at the airport. So this coming week is going to be a busy week for me. I've been having a lot of people call me trying to get together and meet up and stuff like that, but we're trying to get all these people in, and then next year we'll probably be doing a lot more stuff with the group. But this year here we're trying to do one thing at least every month, one big get together. And some people can't go and some people can go. And it's been kind of cool having the get-togethers. Joe Cunningham, if a person is not getting health insurance over there, how much do you think is enough to cover medical? Well, Joe, in all honesty, you can get insurance over here like I have, and I'm almost 60 years old. I mean, I'm 59 right now, but I'm almost 60, and I'm getting it for about $1,200 or $1,300 per year, and it's pretty good coverage through Pacific Cross. And you can get better coverage for like about $2,800, which is about $200, $225 a month or something like that. It's not that bad. As far as how much would you need to cover medical, I would have like $50,000 to $100,000 on the side for an emergency, but that's a risk because I think you're better off having the insurance for that price, rather than risk $100,000 or $50,000 in the bank and then all of a sudden it's gone on one medical thing. I think you're better off paying the $1,300 or whatever it is. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. There's all different types of insurance. If you guys are looking for insurance, hear me out on this. This is really important. Pacific Prime is a brokerage company that will give you 10 different quotes. You tell them exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for like $1 million worth of insurance or whatever, they'll find you $1 million worth of insurance, coverage. But you really over here need like 250 or 500,000 or somewhere around there. You don't need $1 million worth of insurance coverage. And just tell them exactly what you're looking for. If you need certain things in there, make sure you tell them that. They'll find it for you. You might have to cover prescriptions, or you might have to cover outpatient, things like that. But tell them exactly what you want, and they'll give you 10 quotes from 10 different companies, and usually they're pretty good quotes. Let's see. So I hope that answered you, Joe. Jeff Strong says, "Lost my old account when I got a new laptop and move. Lazy Larry says, Sinfuls, did you go with the split AC? I believe he did, yes. I think he went with the split. I'm almost sure. Dahari says, hello everyone. I'm patiently watching the whole commercial for the Cube pillow. Be right there. Okay. Uh, Sinful says, Lazy Larry, yes, also has a 5D inverter. That's pretty good. Jen Vlog says, hi Steve, good evening. How you doing, Jen? Lazy Larry says, good. Ryan McAllister, I'm coming in November for four months. We'll be in Cebu and Bohol. There we go. Sounds good, Brian. Steve Sever says, hello from Fort Myers, Florida. We will finally coming back to Leyte in March. So excited. Joe Cunningham says, how's your drones doing? Have you been using them? I used them like about 2 weeks ago. I'm kind of afraid right now because it's windy outside. So I haven't been using them. But the wind's kind of calming down right now, so I'll probably end up using them pretty soon. You just reminded me, so gotta get my two batteries charged for it. I also have a helicopter too, which I use, and it's kind of fun. And it's a fun little hobby. I tell people, the guys around here, if they want to come over and use any of my RC control vehicles, they're more than welcome to use them because we have so many of them here. We have airplanes, we have helicopters, drones, everything, submarines, everything you can think of. Sinful says, I had past medical issues with the C word, asthma, and have a half a million plan for 18,000 a year. So that's a good deal, and what Sinful's just said, that's a great deal actually. But some pre-existing conditions they will not cover, or they'll make you wait a year before they cover it. So make sure you ask them about that if they'll cover pre-existing, because that's key. Charles and Annalyn W says electric is expensive in Manila and Cebu. Bill never under 200 US. That is expensive, man. You must live in a bigger house, I would imagine, because my house here, it's about 110. I run my AC 24/7. Brooke Snyder is here. Hello from General Trias. Brooke will be coming over here tomorrow. We're gonna be sitting down, just chilling over here tomorrow. It's supposed to be 99 degrees tomorrow, I think. That's it. When I asked Siri what's the weather for tomorrow, it said 99 degrees and 77 at night. So I guess tomorrow's gonna be a hot one. Jeff Strong says, Sinfuls, what agent did you use for your insurance? Sinfuls can answer that one. I'm not sure. But you can also use a Pacific Prime and talk to them also, and they'll give you quotes too. Steve P says, love the channel, Steve. Coming July 3rd to see my girlfriend first time. Wish me luck. I hope you enjoy it here, man. Let's see. Sinful says, Jeff Strong, Pacific Prime sent many choices. Yeah, Pacific Prime's good. Suri says, hi Steve, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, if I could see you. Michael L says, speaking of the C word, I wonder if the antiviral Paxlovid is available here. Some of the doctors there scare me. They think virus can be treated with antibiotics. Yeah, they have that new cancer drug, I heard. I've been reading about that lately. They don't talk too much or get into what it is, but it's kind of interesting. Jeff Strong says, thanks, Sinfuls. Sinful says, my last electric bill was $15K, which is about $300. Jonas Santos says, you're handsome, hon. I wish you were my husband. Travel Discovery, hi Steve. For those on Social Security, do they use their mail forwarding address or their Philippines address? And do people just cancel their Medicare? Some people do cancel their Medicare. Some people don't. I'm not sure if I would. I think I have to get Medicare for the VA. I'm not sure about that. I got to check on that. So I did hear some stories about that. There is something to do with Medicare if you use the VA. So you got to be kind of careful of that. I'm not sure. They probably use both. To be honest with you, some probably use the mail for. I'll use my sister's address, but I'm not sure if you can use your Philippine address. I'm not really up on Social Security. Unfortunately, I don't know that much because I'm not on it yet. So, Roy Jones, beach weather. Yeah, it's got 99 is beach weather for sure. I might actually think about going to the pool tomorrow. Thinking about it. Travel Discovery, how is ordering from Amazon? You can order from Amazon over here, from some companies that are in Asia, and it works out okay. Some people have told me that they've had stuff shipped here, but I don't think they ship everything here for sure. I can tell you that right now, unless there is some company that does do it, but I'm not that up on Amazon that much. Charles and Anna W. We live close on the water here. It's not so hot, around 92 today. Sinful says Michael L. The old C word. LOL. Sinful's not the new one. Okay. Big time 9/11. Can you get mail at the house? Yes. They deliver regular mail here. If it's a package, they make me go pick it up at the post office. The post office actually, I went down and gave them my phone number. Okay, and this is the best way to do your mail here. Go down and give them your phone number, and say, hey, listen, if you ever get any mail or packages, just call me at this number. And they call me. One of the guys here, Stan, whenever he gets a package from the VA, they know to come over here. And they do. They come over to this house, and because he's always over here. So it works out really good. Let's see. Paul Gibson is on board. In Australia during COVID, home gardening was has really taken off. Do you grow any fruit or vegetables at home? Actually, we have bananas around here. We have guava. We have mangoes, bananas. We have umpalaya. I think we have mangosteen out there. We have a lot of stuff out there, and most of it grows wild. We have wild peppers out there, the hot peppers. We have quite a lot of stuff, and it's quite cool, to have all that stuff around us. Bamboo shoots. These are all things that my girlfriend uses quite readily too. Sinful says, just get a FedEx package. Just got a FedEx package the other day from the U.S. Yeah, I get all my packages come right to the door. I'm really happy about the delivery system here. I never have any issues with any of my packages. Nothing has ever gotten lost. I can honestly say that. John Sarkis says, perhaps I'm mistaken, but it seems nearly all the expats and the PI that I hear about are veterans who once served there. That's not totally true, John. We have quite a few people here that are not veterans, too. Not a lot, but we do have some, okay? And actually, they fit in pretty good. We do have a good group of people here. But yes, quite a lot of them are veterans. And also, we're getting some here that are married, and they're not married to Filipinas either, which is kind of funny. We're getting more coming in here. Also, we're getting some women in here that are not veterans. They're coming here, and they're settling over here because of the costs. And they're coming here with family. So some of them are coming here with older kids and stuff like that, and they're settling in over here. They're people that have money. One of them is going down to Mindanao, another one to Bacol, I think it is. And there's actually single women coming here. That's kind of cool, and they're older, they're retired. But I just got a couple calls the other day asking me questions. Dahari says, I've heard some great areas have restrictions on flying drones in certain areas. Yes, I believe maybe in Manila they might have that. I'm not really that sure. I know that somebody was flying some in the park up there, and they were asked not to fly it. So I do know that they do have some restrictions up there. Sinful says, John Sparks, prior vet, but never served here. Yeah, a lot of us never served here. I never served in the Philippines. I served with Filipinos, though. John Bergeron says, I dropped my Medicare Part B, no coverage here, so it's a waste of time. Yeah, it probably is for some people, but you have to check with the VA to see if you need to have that. I know there's some sort of ties there, and I'm not sure what they are, okay? Mark Richards says, the new cancer drug is dostarlimab, 100% success rate in a small trial. I heard that. That's really good. That's really good to hear that, too, because I've had a few people die in my family from cancer. Randy Smith says, if retired military using TRICARE, you have to have Medicare Part B, unsure about the VA. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe it has to do with more TRICARE than about the VA. But I have to check on that anyway. As I get closer, I'll probably let you guys know too when I start looking into that. Charles and Anna Lynn say, we grow bananas and have coconut trees. We also have coconut trees. Peppers and potatoes. Wow, potatoes in the Philippines. That's kind of cool. Joe Cunningham says, what's the exchange rate over there? I sent through Wise last week. It was 53.47. I think it was 53.75, but I could be wrong on that. That's what somebody told me. They said it was up to 53.75 for a short time, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. I didn't check it myself. Jen Vlog says it's still 53.47. Okay. And then Dahari says it's 53.81. So who knows? But I think it did hit 53, like 75, well, 53.81. That's probably as high as it went. Then it might have went back down and corrected itself. Young boy Pete's T-bone steak. Philippines is way behind Thailand. Thailand dropping insurance, mass, and pass. I think the Philippines is going to do that soon. I know the Philippines had a lot of problems today and yesterday with a lot of people coming in here and didn't have the booster shot. And they were holding them for a while to see what they were going to do with them because the people didn't know that you needed the booster. The airlines did not tell them. So I think what they're going to have to do is do 5 days in quarantine, but they're having a problem finding quarantine hotels because I guess there's not that many open anymore. And some of the quarantine hotels didn't want to do it anymore because they weren't making a lot of money because it was costing them too much money to have security and everything. So it's kind of interesting. See what happens over the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to see some more things open up, and I think the more the mass restrictions will probably be dropped a little bit more. Hopefully, totally, but I don't think that's going to happen for a total of like 3 months because the kids are going back to school in August. All the kids, I believe. Um, my my daughter that goes to nursing school, she is going back to school in July, and she's gonna be working in the hospital because she's studying to be a nurse. And my boy here, he's gonna be going, I believe, in August. 65 watt. Let's see. Sidful says 65 watches. Let's hit the thumbs up, please. There we go. 78 actually right now. Let's see. 27 thumbs up. We're doing pretty good. Brian McAllister says, right, retired military diver. Where is the best diving in the PI? You know what? There's a lot of good diving all over the PI, and I wouldn't want to pick out any one spot. There is an area where there's a lot of ships, I heard, that are sunk, and they're in this one area, and it's in fairly shallow water, but I'm not sure where it is. I'll have to look it up sometime. But it, like, I would say Palawan is really good, but there's other places, Mindoro. There's a lot of diving spots around here. Batangas. There's no shortage of diving around here. Edward and Nita in the Philippines. Hello from Angeles City, not Walking Street. We are in the suburbs. LOL. Yeah, Walking Street has kind of it's a bad reputation, I guess. Alice Vlogs in Wonderlands says YouTube. Alice Vlogs. Hello, Steve. How you doing, Alice? Good to see you on here. Francisco Fletes says hi, guys. Sinful says hi, Francisco. Michael L says Dustar. The name of that drug, I guess, Dostarlimab study was for a subset of particular difficult to treat rectal cancer. Brooks Snyder says Wise Exchange is 53.76 currently. So I was just about dead on almost. Brooks Snyder, Fletes, how's the house build progressing? Michael L says Corin has the sunken ships from World War II in shallow water. Yeah, I think that's where it is. I actually seen a film about that one time. It's really interesting. They're all like in a row too. They're all over the place. Alice Vlogs and one of those. I'm from Batangas. There we go. I love Batangas. It's one of my favorite places. You probably know that from watching my channel. MM says Brian McAllister, Tabata Reef in Palawan. I heard about that too. Charles and Annalyn, yes, Palawan has great diving area. Francisco says I got pretty good deal on solar panel systems. So from Go Solar Philippines. Solar getting installed July 1st. Move-in date July 15th. Joe Cunningham, has the prices gone up again? Prices are going up. Yes. It's still affordable here. I don't want to make it scare people out of here and think that, it's gone up so much that we can't afford it. If you're in the sweet spot budget, which is why I mentioned about the sweet spot, because that's a place where you can live happily and not worry too much about inflation and stuff like that. But with the amount of inflation we're getting, I think the sweet spot might go up. But the sweet spot's still good for a long time. It's no worries. Even if you get down to where the value of your money went down to like 1,500, and let's say you had 3,000 or something like that. Let's say it dropped. you could still live pretty good over here. You know, I don't think you'd have too many worries. It's when you hit your 70s and your insurance starts going up that you have to worry. John Ross says, could you give me the contact number or email about the SRV? Yes, John. Email me at Stephen with a V 5975 at yahoo.com. Okay, and ask me for the contact number of Mary Rose. Okay, and I'll send it out to you within 24 to 48 hours because I check my emails about every 24 to 48 hours. Also, guys, if any of you guys are on my Facebook, I cleaned off a lot of my Facebook today, and if I took anybody down by accident, and it was mostly there was a whole bunch of girls that were always in front of me, and I don't know if they're a wife of one of the subscribers or whatever, but I took off a whole bunch of those people because they were bugging me all the time, hi, and stuff like that. So I had to take it off because it would just get to be annoying, and I'm still cleaning off a lot. So if I take anybody off by accident, just write in the comment section, hey Steve, can I have your Facebook? And just send me a message on Facebook, hey Steve, I just friended you. I want to get back on again because it was my mistake if I took you off. Most people are still on there though. I'm kind of going through them, but some people I know, but I'm not. I forget their names or whatever, and I know that I've spoke to them about their husbands or whatever. Just refriend me, okay? Eminem says Thresher Sharks and Malapascua Sardinas run the Mole Bowl, both in Cebu. Sinful says John Ross, send Steve an email. There we go, at Stephen5975 at yahoo.com. Let's see, Roy Jones, would you interview anyone over there? Would I interview? It would depend. It would really depend. I really don't do much on interviews. I mean, we talk to people once in a while. It would depend on the person and what they have to offer the channel. To be honest with you, it would depend. If I thought you were interesting enough to do a vlog on. Usually my vlogs is more like commentary. I mean, you guys know that, but we do show different things every once in a while. I'm open to just about anything, but our vlog is more bent on the walking in the park, things like that. And once in a while we show around town. I actually have to get out there and do some vlogs on that because a lot of people miss those vlogs. I don't get many people watching them, but the people love the walks around town. So I'm gonna have to do another one soon. Brooks Knight says Florida sun won't allow solar panels. Another reason I'm leaving after lease up. I can think of a lot of reasons to leave that place. Besides that, I used to push Florida sun, and I don't anymore for a lot of reasons. If we were sitting in private, I'd tell you. John Ross at Sinful's got it. Thanks. Charles and Anna Lynn, our house build will be finished in 3 weeks. No more rent house is 15 meters from the ocean. There we go. That sounds nice. Sinful says, YW. Dahari says, Mark and his wife did a video coming back into the Philippines. They didn't have the booster as with a group of doctors. They made them wait in an area of the airport for 10 hours before releasing them. I saw that. And it wasn't just one person that showed it. It was a couple people that showed it. Somebody sent it to another vlogger too. And it was, that's crazy to sit in there for 10 hours, and there's probably people outside waiting for you too. That's the sad part about the whole thing, Big Time 911 says, how is the VA clinic in Manila? The VA clinic in Manila, I'll be honest with you, I love the doctors there, but they've cut back on so many different things here. Orthopedics, they've cut back on giving you canes or walkers or anything like that. You have to get it on your own and have the FMP reimburse you. And for anybody that doesn't know, FMP is the Foreign Medical Plan, which is a reimbursement thing for people that don't have a VA nearby or don't have, or the VA is limited. So if you need an operation, let's say, on your back, and the VA clinic can't do that because it's just a clinic, then if you're covered, if you're service connected, you will get reimbursed by the FMP. That's the way that works. And I actually love the doctors there, okay? But they're cutting back on a lot of the painkillers and stuff like tramadol, which is cheap. Okay, I mean, I'll just pay for it out of my pocket. I can get reimbursed by FMP. Okay, I can get reimbursed for that, but it's so cheap that it's just that's why they give us the money. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I use my money to buy my medical stuff, and sometimes I use it for my massages, or sometimes I use it for physical therapy. I don't put in for a few dollars like that, because it's so cheap here in the Philippines to be able to go out and have physical therapy, or massage, or to buy some of those meds, because some of those meds are so cheap it's ridiculous. But as far as the VA clinic, I give it a total thumbs up, because I like the doctors there, and they give you a lot of help there. Some people feel differently. I can't speak bad about them, because it's not the people's fault; it's the VA's fault. Okay. WS says, I'm in Angeles. Want to check out Dumagetti. Any advice? 55 and retired now. Um, you know what? A lot of people that are going down to Dumagetti, and they're going down there to check it out, they're not giving me good words on it. They say it's kind of crowded down there. A lot of them don't like it. I'm not sure why, but they come back. I had a couple of the expats that are in my group that went down there. They said that they didn't like it. They weren't too happy with it. They actually liked our area better. Now, we're not near the beaches or anything like that, but we have a lot to offer here for people. And I got to tell you, I'll take our area in any time over some of these other places. Now, I haven't been down there, but from what I hear, it doesn't sound like a place I'd like to be. Different type of expat down there. I'm not saying they're bad or good. They're just different. Some of the people like it down there. Some of the people love it down there. It's just a different type, different vibe. We have a very conservative group here, and it's really really kind of nice having that around here, and it gives a different vibe too. We've had our problems, but for the most part, our group is excellent. So let's see. Francisco says, the only thing I used the FMP program was to get reimbursed for 100K PHP for CPAP machine. Yeah, for something like that, I'd put in for it. Obviously, $2,000, that's a lot of money. Brooke Snyder says, Fletes, I'd love to see some pics of the new house and get tips on building. Larry Francie, have a great night there, my friend. Brooke, we're going to invite Francisco to some of these things in the future. Hopefully he comes. We are going to have a get together probably at the beginning of next month, and I'm going to get in touch with Francisco. So hopefully he comes. We'll do like a chicken barbecue or something like that real soon. I'm thinking the beginning of next month. Okay, so that's going to be our next expat get together. Larry Francie says, have a great night there, my friend. You too, Larry. Thanks for joining us. 11 series, with most other countries fully opening without restrictions or mandates, how long we think before the PH follows suit? 3 to 6 months, maybe? Yes. I think within three months we'll probably have everything back to normal. I think. The Philippines is usually the last, so probably about 3 months. Sperlin Edwards, hello from Iloilo. How you doing, Sperlin? Good to see you on here. Daniel Terry says, hey, Steve, I'm back in General Trias. I sent you an email. Okay, Dan. Dan, I haven't checked my emails, so if I don't answer you, send me another one. Okay? It should be on there. I'll have to check and see if it's on there. I didn't check today, so I haven't seen it. Maybe you probably sent it today. Larry Francis says, love Davao City and Tacloban areas. He also says, what area are you in? I'm in Tracy Martires in Cavite. It's about 20 miles south of Manila, probably. John Ross says, do you have to make an appointment online for Social Security office at the U.S. Embassy Manila, or can you walk in? You know what? I'm not really sure. I think that the embassy is open now to walk in, but I would call to check with them. I'm really not sure, because I haven't gone up to the embassy for a while. So I'm not really sure on that. I know that they've opened up a lot more things and more windows and stuff like that, but I'm not sure. I think that they're pretty much back to normal. I think, but don't quote me on that, because I don't really know about embassy. I'll have to call up and check on that. That's an interesting question. Francisco Fletes, I'll start participating when I'm living in Cavite. Okay, all right, that sounds good. So maybe in August, Francisco, we'll count on you coming to one of our barbecues. Okay. Brooke Snyder. Let's see, Larry Francie. Was there in May, coming back soon again as in October. God bless you, my friend. Daniel Terry, okay. Big Time 911 says, what's the average turnaround time for an SRRV visa? About 4 weeks. It's about 4 weeks. I think right now it's probably like around 6. But usually it's around 4 weeks or so, somewhere around there. It's not too bad. Um, let's see. Sinful says, yes, I received a notice that the embassy is back to normal operations but verified. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. WS says, thanks for the reply. Always enjoy how you keep it real on your channel. Thanks, WS. Brooks Snyder says, Walter Mark Gentry at 9 a.m. usually has a few expats for brekkie, for breakfast. He's a regular down there at Walter Mart. There's a group of like about 3 that hang out down there in the morning. And it's a good group. That they're all in our group, so that's good. And Brooks, one of our Canadians on here. Randy Smith says, "Are you familiar with the Taguig area, and what's your thoughts?" Taguig is nice. It's a nice area, very nice area. Joe Cunningham, Cavite is a great place to settle. I lived in Dasma for 12 years before I came to the U.S. Yeah, it is a great place. It's an awesome place, actually. Alice Vlogs and Wonderlands. Steve, my boyfriend, is from Oklahoma. While I'm here in Macaw and working, I did I did forwarded some of your videos to him. We've been together for a year. Your videos give him some ideas of how life is in the Philippines. Thanks, Alice. I appreciate that. We're up to about 9. I looked at my thing today. I think we're up to 992 videos. I just cleaned out a few videos that I didn't want up anymore the other day. I took down about 5. So we're only like about 8 away from 1,000. We're really close to 1,000 videos. So we'll be hitting 1,000 videos. And I didn't realize I was that high up. I was looking a couple months back, and I was like, wow, I'm almost at 1,000. John McKenna says, what is the rainy season there so I can miss it? Well, I'm going to tell you. The rainy season here is usually from like about May all the way up until like November usually. Um, I would say the worst months are right now. June, July, August, September. Those are the worst months. Anything after that, it starts getting better and better. It starts gradually getting better. Um, but some of the islands, it's kind of spread out more. It'd be good for you to get a weather map over here because some of the islands, it's spread out over the year, whereas we get all ours is different up here in Luzon. So you can't say the rainy season is the same everywhere in the Philippines. I just want to make sure you got that clear, John. So it is different. Dahari says Negro Oriental and Occidental away from Duma is popular, more private. There's a lot of nice, beautiful places south of here. But if you guys are going to be using the VA hospital or something like that, I would highly recommend Cavite. I mean, I'm not just pushing this area because we want to grow our community. I just think it's a great place because we have a lot of people that are peripheral expats in our group, and they kind of like their privacy, but they still like to have our group. If we do something and they want to join, they can. They can join once or twice a year, join us for a trip or something, or a barbecue, and just have some company. So it's kind of nice having our group, and we're gonna put it together a little bit more when we get more people in here. And I'll advertise that more on here. If you're in the area or something like that, hey, give me a call. And that way I can get all your information and stuff like that, and I'll put you on our list, our expat list, because we have a lot of people here. We have a lot of people coming too, and I have to really someday I have to sit down and make up the list. But I've been so tired lately from helping people. I haven't had time to even think lately. Osiris says, "Hello, can you talk about the requirements to open a bank account there?" Um, Usually, when you get your ACR card, you can open an account. You can open it with the SRRV if you're doing the SRRV, and if you use Mary Rose and you talk to her, and you send extra money, you can not only just open up your security account, but you can also open up a regular account if you talk to her. In some cases, you're allowed to do that. I think it depends on the bank, though. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can open up an account that way too. But it's usually after 59 and a half days. So after 60 days, you can open up an account because that's when you get your ACR card. Dahari says Valencia is higher up in elevation, cooler from what I'm hearing. Yes. Let's see, Larry Francie. Okay, I stay about 30 minutes south of Manila. Nice area there too. Can't say the name started with a LUQ. Uh, I think I love your walks too. I like doing my walks. Every day I love doing my walks. I love being able to walk and talk to you guys, and it feels like I'm walking with you guys when I'm out there walking. I never feel, it's funny because I never feel alone in that park because I feel like I'm talking to you guys, and we do have our conversations, because you guys put your comments and stuff like that, so it's kind of funny, so it actually is talking to you guys, but it's a comfortable walk down there, and it's kind of fun and enjoyable to go down there and do the walks and do the videos. But we're gonna do some other stuff too around town as soon as I get some free time. John Bergeron says, we are living in Quezon City right now next to North SM Mall. It's not that bad. Quezon City is a nice little town. It's not a town, it's a city, but I mean, there's some nice sections in there, and it's not that bad. Mark Richards says the cost of living for Social Security should go up quite a bit. I hear this year. I'm hearing we might hit 8.3% or more. James Nichols says, my son and his Filipino wife are moving to Antique, island of Panay. I've actually been down there. I used to go to Antique quite a lot, to Bugasong. And there's also a friend of mine down there too. In a couple of years, he wants to build a house, and they want me, Dad, age 72, to move there with them. I only have my SS. You'll be okay, James. The only thing I worry about down there is hospital care. That's a big issue when you're living in Antique because there's not much down there. Joe Cunningham says, thanks for Romnick's info. He doesn't have Viber, but I found him on Facebook. He sent me pictures of furniture he made. Might ask him to come up to my house in Tagaytay to take measurements. Yeah, he'll do it. He might add a little bit extra onto it, but it's still worth it. Joe, he did some really, really beautiful work for some of our people. And one of the people is Sinful's on here, the guy that's moderating tonight, and he'll tell you how good his work is. Francisco Fletes, with U.S. inflation at 8.6%, yeah, SS Cola should go up. It should go up a lot, and that's going to be for veterans too. So, Joe Cunningham says, when I visit next year, okay. James Nichols, 1,600 right now. Is it a good idea for me? Love my family, living with them here in the States. Let's see. Lazy Larry says, James Nichols, if you are living with them, that should be more than enough. Brooke Schneider says, I'm the token Canadian in our group. Yes, he is. When asked where I'm from, I simply say the 51st state. Brooke's a good guy. He brings a lot of humor to the expat community here. He's one of the people, and we also have Johnny out there too, and we also have Johnny and Ronnie, and we have a lot of fun with the people here, and we love our expat community. We're really, really, really close. We're like this, and I can't say that enough because we have some really wonderful people in our community. And his Sinful's on here. He's talking to Dean. He says, hey, Dean. Dean's another good guy. I talk to him quite often, and he is new to the group, and him and his girlfriend, his wife Jen, are fantastic people. And I think if any of you guys ever moved to this area, and you became a part of our group, you would see how tight and friendly our group is. And we don't see each other a lot of us. I see people probably more than anyone else. I wish I could see people more, but I'm always busy, and sometimes I just want to have a day with my family or something like that, and it's hard for me to do that, because I love sometimes just being with my girlfriend and my family, But if you were here, there's little tiny groups in our group too, and they meet, and they're always inviting other people, and I'm really happy to hear when they invite other people or they hang out with other people. It's kind of cool to see that, and I saw that a little bit today. That some of the people that are usually quiet and their peripheral expats are starting to come in, and they're starting to hang out with some of the other guys, and that made me happy today to see that. Sinful says, Brooke Snyder, sure it's not the 57th? Yeah, there we go. And then Dean Thompson of the Philippines says, hey brother, how you doing, Dean? It's good to see you on here, man. Let's see, Dahari says, 101 watching, 52 likes We got 54 right now, 96 people watching. People go in and out, and sometimes they come on here and they watch for a few minutes and see if it's interesting or not. If it doesn't fit them, then they come back maybe 10 minutes later or whatever. Yeah. But let's see. Dean says, yeah, 8, but there's talk about increasing SSI outside of the COLA. That'd be great if they do that. I hope they increase Social Security totally. I have that thing where they take off some of it. I forget what they call it. I used to remember what it was, but because I work for a municipality, they take a good chunk of it away. John Ross says my military retirement went up 160 more January this year, so I know it's going way up next. CBBC says, any vets out there on TDIU? My TDIU and it is PNT, and I am looking to move to the PH soon, but nervous. Let's see, I haven't heard that, and I collected disability. TDIU. Maybe you can fill me in a little bit more on that. Totally disabled. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're referring to, so I can't really. I know it is PNT, and I am looking. We have a lot of disabled vets out here. I'll say that. Okay, a lot of them. Some guys are really in rough shape, and I have back issues, but I see people out here. I've seen people in wheelchairs out here, and we're getting some blind people in here too. Some of them are also veterans that had accidents and stuff. So, and I'm hearing that they want to come to this area. They don't want to be. They don't want to join our group so much, but they want to find out. They wanted to ask me about where would I recommend them going, and I gave them some places. Michael says, Steve, what are your thoughts on Filipinos who ask for an allowance? Wow. Well, Michael, I give my girlfriend an allowance because she doesn't work. If your girlfriend works, obviously, then it's different. But I think it's only fair to give them a certain amount of money. I give my girlfriend about 200 a month, and I tell her what I expect, and she uses that for her family. She uses it for whatever she wants. It's her money. I tell her, if you want to take care of your family, you want to send somebody to the doctors, you want to give your sister some money, whatever you want to do, take it out of that money because that's yours. And it works out pretty good. Let's see. Alice Vlog says, is our government Philippines requires quarantine for foreigners so far, Steve? Any idea, Steve? I think if you don't have the booster, I think now they're saying, because they had a guy there for 10 hours and a bunch of doctors too, and they let them all go into the country. I think it's changing slowly. There's a lot of changes coming down the pike, and I think that's why they let them go into the country. I'm not sure if they sent them to a quarantine hotel or not. It didn't. I haven't heard anything since. William, SS goes up 8.3% only if you're collecting. So if you're still working, does your estimated amount you're going to collect go up? Yes, I would say so. Yes. Leanne Sarose says, hey, brother, that's my sister. So, how you doing, Lee? Dean Thompson says the retiree and VA pay is currently set to go up 8. Also, yes, the VA pay will usually trail the Social Security. Brooke Snyder says, I am picking up my ACR card the June 24th, which is roughly 3 months after arriving. Okay. But after 59 days, I believe you can put in for it. 11 series says, Dean Thompson, I have heard it's about 8% increase for next year. That's what I'm hearing too. That's the rumor so far, but that can go up or down. Bluto the Desailor is, he says, CBBC, total disability individual unemployability. Okay, unemployability. That's the part I lost. Okay, I gotcha. Yes, there are people on that. Yes, actually, in our community, there are some people that are on that. I think there's some of the peripheral expats we don't see too often because some of them, they don't get around that much because of their disability. But we do talk to them. We do check in on them. Bluto DeSale says vaccine mandate. I don't. I think the vaccine stuff is going away. James Franklin says message retracted. Francisco Fleta says it means they're 100%, but not by percentage or schedule. Yeah, no, I understand what it is now. As soon as he says unemployability, I knew what it was, but I just didn't know what the TDIU stuff was. If he wrote it down, I would have understood what it was as soon as he said unemployability. Um, let's see. James Franklin says, "You are 100%." No, I am not. Lee Davis, can you recommend a budget hotel near you? A budget hotel near me, there's Red Doors in General Trias, and there's also Brownwood Resort in General Trias. And Brownwood Resort is nice, and it's about $50. And there's Red Doors, which is cheaper. Okay, but it's $50, and you can't go wrong. And there's deals online sometimes too. Francisco Fletes says, "I'm 100% P and T." Let's see. Dahari says the vaccine mandate seems as though it's becoming more of a hustle for the government. I think that stuff's gonna go away. James Franklin says, "Yup, P and T here." Okay, there we go. Sinfuls, yes, 59 days. I applied for ACR card, then received it 10 days later. SRV holders don't even really need the ACR card. We don't need that. TDIU can be P and T also. Yes, they can. CBBC says, but yeah, thanks everyone. James Franklin says they rate you at 100%, so you are 100% no difference. Yeah, if you're 100%, you don't need the unemployability. This, it's kind of foolish to get that unless it's just temporary or something like that. But if you're 70% on up, you can get that unemployability thing. Chris Reed says, "What's the volcano situation like?" I haven't heard much on that volcano that went off south of here. I believe there was one south and one north too. One was the one north, I think, was the one that went off a little bit, and the one south went off a lot. Dean Thompson says, "In the Philippines, I'm 100%, and you get it either way." Yes, okay, but yeah, volcanoes have been pretty quiet around here, except for those few volcanoes, and they haven't been that big. It wasn't like the Tal volcano when that took off, and it put a lot of dust and ash in the sky there for quite a while, and that was kind of scary because it was close to us, and we were getting some of the ash. We were also getting some of the lightning here, and it was just like small lightning. It wasn't big like it was there. See, Francisco Fletes says the difference between TDIU and 100% PNT is that the 100% PNT can work and it doesn't affect their 100% status, whereas a TDIU, if you work, you lose your 100%. Yes. Yeah, no, I understand that. Charlie says Red Doors in Cebu near Landers Market was run down, dirty, and cold shower. Some of them, they're different in each town. Some of the Red Doors, the one here supposedly in General Trias, it's halfway decent. I don't recommend it. It is a cheaper hotel. I recommend Brownwood, and Brownwood is really nice. Brownwood Resort, man, you can't beat that place because it has a nice gym there. It has a nice, beautiful pool, and it has a bar. I believe it's a restaurant there too, but I'm not sure. James Franklin says you can be scheduled at 100% and not be PNT. Yes. Yeah, there can be any mix of things pretty much. Frank Maxwell says, how long does the 15,000 SRV deposit? 15,000. It's usually 10 or 20 or 1,500. I think you're talking about the 1,500 have to stay deposited forever until you die, or you can use it for a lease or something like that. But they're going to be on the lease, and it's going to be a long term lease. The $1,500, it's not worth using it for a lease because it's only $1,500. I'm not even sure if you can use that. I know you can on the larger amounts, but I think you can on the smaller too. But it's not worth it. It's only $1,500. Let's see. How long do you need to be in country to access it in the case of an emergency? You can't access this money in an emergency unless you leave, because that would be taking it out to leave. You would no longer have a security. Let's see. Francisco Fleta says yes, you can. The way you know your 100% is P&T, your VA letter will say no more exams are scheduled and your disability is considered permanent and total. Most people that get a disability are pretty much total anyway. I mean, sometimes they won't. Once you pass 55, I think it's 55. Yeah, it's 55. They usually don't send you for those exams anymore. They consider it pretty much permanent total, from what I understand, Francisco. I saw that on one of those legal things online. Michael, stocks and crypto. There's blood in the streets. It's up to my ankles. There's blood in the streets. It's up to my knees. Joe Cunningham says, do you celebrate U.S. holidays? No, I really don't celebrate that many holidays, Joe. I just don't. I really didn't back in the U.S. either. Um, I'm not much of a holiday person. Labor Day, I do. Somewhat. I like Labor Day. I always did. It was just one of those things that you celebrated because you were going back to school or whatever, and it was the end of summer. That's the only one I really celebrate. 4th of July sometimes. Brooks Snyder says Brownwood Resort is good, Western style, great gym and pristine pool. Book a month for a deal to scout the area. Lots of easy transportation at your door. You just walk out the door there and you walk out to the street, and you can pretty much go wherever you want. And they got buses going by there and everything. Dahari says I want to check out numerous places when I come to El Nido, Palawan, Boracay, etc. At some point, settle in somewhere. Frank Maxwell says thanks. Simply Hannah says my husband really enjoyed your channel. Thanks, Hannah. I appreciate it. I'm glad your husband enjoyed it. We kind of our vlog kind of goes out to like different people than the other vlogs do. I think our channel is a lot different than the other ones, and it just happened to become that, And I wanted it to be something that was interesting, but still showed people what's out there, what the country has to offer, and everything. And I wanted to make it fun too. So I'm glad he enjoyed it though. James Franklin says Francisco, they can call for an exam at any time. There is no permanent with the VA. Yes, there is permanent, and they don't. Once they say it's permanent, then they pretty much can't call you back in. Big Time 911 says, I wonder if the VA does compensation and pension exam at the Manila clinic. They did when I come over here, and I believe they still do, but they make the decisions back in the U.S. now. Dean Thompson in the Philippines, P&T cannot be taken away after 3 years passes, even if you need to add other diagnosis. Let's see. 11 series, my percentage has been maxed out for about 5 years now. Never had to go back for any type of follow-up yet, but not P&T. I want to say this about the percentages and stuff like that over here is that, if you're not service connected over here, you can't get treated at the clinic unless you're service connected. So some people go back in and try to get the service connections at least at 0% or something. And it's smart doing that sometimes because then at least you can get treated for those issues, So, John Ross says, when I am living in a condo in Cebu, I met an expat, but once I get to know him, he was consumed with conspiracy theories. I couldn't talk him out of it, so I stay away from him. We have a lot of people here that are into that. I'm actually interested in stuff like that, but I don't talk too much about it. I try to stay off that stuff. It doesn't serve any purpose. You can't do nothing about it with all the crap that's going on in the world. Everybody has their ideas about the world now. I'm not sure what's going on in the world. I just know it's getting crazy. Charles and Annalyn says, when we are in Manila or Cebu City, we use Grab for transportation. Grab's really good. I like Grab. It's really, really, really good. I've used Grab many, many a times for coming back home when I'm up in Manila. Gems Lifestyle. Hello, Steve and everyone. How you doing, Gems? JD says, only question I have is where is the first hotel or Airbnb for the first couple of days when I arrive in Cebu? I'm not that up on Cebu, Jay, so I really couldn't tell you. Maybe somebody on here can throw in their 2 cents worth that knows Cebu better than me. Dahari says, I've heard Grab is the smart thing to use in larger cities. Yes, it is. It's very good. CBBC says, good info in this chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Sinful says, Bluto de Sailor, when I worked, I certainly worked the holidays. Too good to pass up. I used to work a lot of the holidays too because of the money. when I was working at PRA Automation, I worked doing robotics and stuff like that, and I used to love working the holidays because you get some really good pay, because you get double time and a half. You get paid for the holiday plus time and a half, so it was worth working. You know, it was actually really time and a half because you were going to get paid for the holiday anyway, but still. Dean Thompson says big time to get in order to get your CNP here, you have to go through the Philadelphia Regional VA because they are the only one that can authorize you to see a doctor, and the FMP pay for it. I don't know if something must have changed then in there because they used to do it here. They used to send you out to a doctor, and then they I think they made the decision right here in Manila, and I think that's all changed now. I did hear that part, so I think you're right, Dean. Sinful says life is short. Live it to the fullest without the drama. That's right. Timo Cruz, Russian children and families love McDonald's, their favorite Western food, and food sanctions in Russia for the sake of the children who love Uncle Ronald and Disney movies. Bring peace and love. It's okay. Kay Milton, Steve, how are your Kathy Woodstocks doing? You know, I got a lot of people asking me that. You know, because they're bombed out right now, and I told people when I went into it that I went into it long term. Okay, I pulled out because I knew it was going down because of the stock market. I could sense that it was going to go down, and it was crashing. So I pulled out, and I'm probably going to jump back in, and I'm going to be buying them at bargain rate prices. But I do know that it's going to go back. And even if I had left my money there, like in Tesla, my Tesla stocks are still way ahead. So I mean, I'm not doing that bad, you know. And I did take some profits on the Tesla, quite a few times. I'm just using my money that I made now. It's all my profits that I'm using right now. So I don't really worry that much. Let's see. Dean Thompson says one piece of advice for medical treatment: if you have both in VA and TRICARE, I recommend TRICARE. Yeah, TRICARE is probably better than using the VA because you just go into the hospital and get it done, and you don't have to bill FMP. So you're way better off. You're right, Dean. Dean Thompson says, I spent the week in the hospital and TRICARE picked it all up, and I was out of pocket less than $500, and the foreign medical program will reimburse the $500. There we go. That's good. That worked out good for you, Dean. James Franklin, I've been fighting VA since 1978, so you might want to check. Kay Milton says, Steve, how are you, Kathy Woodstock? Do they pay dividends during this downturn? No, they do not. Like I said, they're long-term investments. A lot of people don't get that, and they think when your stocks go down that you lost all your money. You didn't lose your money because you haven't taken it out yet. You lose it when you take it out. And when I go to take it out, I'm sure that it'll all be there and then some. So, God willing, you know. Frank Maxwell, they now have a burn pit registry available online. Easy to complete online and may help folks that have served in the Middle East and Vietnam with future service connection for respiratory. Let's see, Motivation Echoes. Plenty of good hotels near Ayala Mall and Cebu City. Hari says, your channel to me attracts a more mature, straightforward, informative crowd. One of the pleasures of getting older, I guess. LOL. I hope it does. I mean, we try to keep it that way. And, you know, it took me probably about 6 months to a year to clean off all the trolls and stuff like that and get it to where it is. And, you know, some people think that they can just freely insult you and you're going to sit there and put up with it. And, you know, I'd rather lose a subscriber that insults me than keep him, because I don't want that on my channel. You know what I mean? And I could care less whether he watches or not, you know, and it makes the channel a better channel. And I think that's, you know, we have a different group on here. I know my subscribers don't grow as fast as other channels, but that's okay. I'm okay with that, you know, because if I had more subscribers, I'd have more work, because it's a lot of it. We answer the people here and we talk to them on the phone and stuff every night. So we're a different channel than most, you know. Big Time 911 says, curious, does the Philippines have a stock market? Yes. Justin in Arkansas, that's our Justin. Bought plane tickets, be back September 22nd. Justin, we're glad you're coming back, man. We miss you. So give me a call tomorrow night if you can. All right, we'll talk tomorrow night. I'm glad to see you can type, because I know you're having problems with your eyes. Justin had his eyes partially detached, his retinas, and he had some problems. He went home to do some stuff, and he's one of ours. He's one of our closest and best expats here. He's one of my favorites, and we miss him a lot here. So it seems kind of funny without him here. So let's see. Sinful says big time 9/11. Yes, they do. The PSEI, I believe. Brooks Snyder says big time. Yes. Levels of madness. Have you looked into cryptocurrencies? I'm not really into the cryptos too much. I still do a little bit of trading, but not a lot. Lots believe there will be a very big downturn in the near future. Just saying, probably will be because with all the stuff going on in the world. I think though I did a video the other day about some of the stuff that's going on. I think that the world is ready for a big wake up call as far as food supplies and food chains and stuff like that, and all that. I think the Philippines. One of the things that the Philippines can honestly do very well is get food all over the Philippines on 7,000 something islands, and that food chain is pretty good and it's pretty safe here. And I'm kind of glad that I live where I live here next near Manila, because I don't think I have to worry that much about food shortages here. But I do think there's going to be some food shortages of probably wheat and some other stuff. I'm seeing a little bit of Coke problems here, getting Coca-Cola a little bit. I'm not sure if that's throughout the Philippines, but we do see it here a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. Some stores have it, some stores it's totally empty and there's no Coke. Matter of fact, I went to 7-Eleven, there was no Coke. So that'll tell you how much, it's, and we went to the bottle place where they have Coke, no Coke. So Roy Jones, you invest in crypto? I do. I'm now down 40%. I did. I don't anymore that much. Every once in a while I'll jump in, jump out, and make a few bucks. Michael L says big time. Philippines has a stock market, pero I wouldn't invest there. Stick to the US, Canadian, Europe, and Singapore. I agree with that. Frank Maxwell says, don't forget the thumbs up. Definitely. Um, 11 series. I have more issues from the sandstorms than from the burn pits. LOL. Dickie Spaz says, me too, Roy Jones. Let's see. Levels of madness. Sinfuls. When Tether does a Luna, it will be the mother of all crashes. Let's see. Sinfuls. I had Luna. I sold 4 days before the crash at $89. Okay. Let's see. Frank Maxwell. It covers all respiratory conditions. 11. Check it out. Covers oil burn pits, asbestos, depleted uranium exposure. Brooke Schneider says, I realized after 3 months I don't need to keep my Florida winter home. Hopefully I'll get into the markets at these crazy prices. Bluto's the sailor says, I narrowed from my 401k at 7%. Better to pay myself 7% than take a bigger loss and DCA back in. Big Time 911 says, do you drive a car or a moto? No, I do not. I ride in a car, okay? I usually rent a car with a driver and stuff like that. And we do the tricycles, we do the jeepneys once in a while, we do the buses and stuff like that. Actually, sometime this week, I'm thinking about maybe running over to Alabang again. I was actually there tonight, but with some of the guys, I'll take a ride over there this week, probably with Brooke and one of the other guys, or two of the other guys. We'll see how things go. Darius says McDonald's is supposedly pulling out of Russia. That's a good thing. Pluto DeSales says Barrowed. Hashtag. Levels of madness. Sinful is good to hear. Good to hear. Lots of people weren't so lucky. 11 series says Frank. Thanks. I'll look into it. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie says good morning, Steve. Good morning, Jamie. Brooks Knight says well done, Sinfuls. I'm strictly Bitcoin hodler. Timo Cruz says, our nation thanking Starlink fastest internet means very clear communication. Solar, electric powered nation for great purpose to God to save the environment of his nation. Hope Mr. Musk Tesla follow. Timmy, meet Barry J. Barry J is, I think he took off. I don't even know if I know he's in the country, but I think he's hiding because I think the government's looking for him for something, was the last thing I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody put that out there. I know Barry personally. He's not that bad as they make him out to be. I know he smokes and drinks, but That's Barry, you know. Um, he's got his problems. Let's put it that way, you know. But a lot of people do. Michael L. Russia and Ukraine were responsible for a third of the wheat supply and half of the sunflower oil supply. Also, friend in Isabella states they are having issues getting Coca-Cola syrup. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Steele says, "Hello, Steve. How you doing, Steele?" Roy Jones, we need food shortages. People are too fat. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to feel that way a little bit. Today I went out to eat. Man, I was full when I left there. I went to Panda Express tonight over in Alabang. It was good though. Zane Underwood says, "No Coke, Pepsi." Pepsi's pretty readily available here. People don't seem to like Pepsi. Let's see. Levels of Madness says Roy Jones, haha. Sinful says Brooke Snyder, I have about 30 cryptos. Michael, out of stock, sir. No, it's out of stock. Poe. For Android 101, if one can't take the country out of the girl, then one also can't take the cultural pollution out of the expat. At least not immediately. Just saying. I tend to agree with that. Some of these guys take a lot with them when they first get here, but when they see the way that if the guys that join our community, believe it or not, they do really really well because a lot of the guys here talk to them and just kind of they learn that people don't want to talk about what happens back there. They not too much. We don't talk about that much. I mean, we have too many good things to talk about. I mean, I've had some things happen over the past couple of weeks that I've been kind of hyper focusing on because it really bothered me. But I mean, I'm getting over it and I'm moving on. And we try to move past all those bad things here as much as we can. For Android 101, it took me about 4 years of living in China to stop being consumed with the hubris crap American culture crams down your throat 24/7. I agree, man. It's true. Let's see. Dean Thompson says just got back from Alabang Festival Mall. Mark Richard, I'll be moving here in a few months and annoying because if you tell some people you're moving to the Philippines, I say all the dogs there, so annoying as it's very rare. I'm sorry, guys. I got like the hiccups going on. Um, DK Gaming PH. So many ambassadors coming in to talk to the new president. Um, you know, I've been watching some of the stuff that's going on with the new president here, and I'm not sure what to think about him yet. We don't talk too much on politics here, but I just say give the guy a chance until we start seeing the way things go. I think he might work with the United States because I think he sees what China's doing. He wants to work with China as far as business goes, but I think he wants to work with the U.S. as far as military goes. So it would be interesting to see how that plays out. Michael, they will wait till the last Coke is gone, then order. No sense of urgency. Yes, they usually do that. Zane Underwood says cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger chip. Ronnie and Ciso says good morning. 8:30 in Colorado Springs. What time of the year is best to make the move to the Philippines? The best time to make a move here. Wow. I'd say probably March. That's about when I come here. The end of March, sometime in March. Come here in March. It's a good time because it's still the dry season. You don't want to move here in the rainy season. Come here in like the beginning of March or something. I would say I came at the end of March and I had a little bit of time, but then it started raining. But it gave me like about a month, and I was good. The Harry says soda isn't good for you anyway. No, it's not. But I still drink it, unfortunately. Dickie Spaz says housing market in Phoenix starting to correct. Let the foreclosures begin. Let's see. Dahari says Pepsi, Pepsi, LOL. Joel Cooper says enjoy your openness and straight shooting. I'll be moving to Cebu early September in 2 months. Hope to cross paths with you down the road. We will. We will, Joel. I run into a lot of people here. Sometimes I run into them when there's somebody running up to Manila or something like that, and I'll meet them in a mall or something like that. I've actually met people in the mall, and I start talking to them, and we get on the conversation of like, who do you watch on YouTube? And I'll tell them who I watch, and I don't watch that many people. I watch people back in the U.S. And they'll tell me, oh, one of the guys, it was kind of funny because he told me, he goes like this to me. He says, I watched that guy that walks around the park, meaning me. He didn't realize he was talking to me. And I says, that's me. I had my mask on, so he didn't really recognize me. But I did have my hat on, which you think we would have caught on to that, Because, I mean, I'm known for the hats, the cabbie hats. And a lot of the guys that are in our group wear those cabbie hats because I give them those hats. You know, we usually I give a lot of them away to the guys that are really close living around here. I give some to the people that live far away too. But I mean, it's good to see people wearing those hats. You know, and when we're out sometimes all of us wearing the hats, so it must look funny to people to see us all wearing the hats, but it's kind of funny. But that's our group. That's our group signature, you know. Uh, James Franklin says VA medical is not the same as VA compensation. Let's see, 11 series Dahari, true, I've been feeling much better after dropping soda. Sentinel says, hi Steve, and hi to you all. Sinful says, 11 series quit drinking sodas, alcohol in 2020, I weighed 12 kgs less. Dahari says, water and juice, coffee in the morning. You know, you know what really love to drink, and you can't get it here, is fresh orange juice. They don't have fresh orange juice. I wish they had the frozen concentrate, but you can't find it anywhere here. I wish I could find some great orange juice here. I know they have it at some places, but it's so few and far between. And see, Timo Cruz says, Mr. Must have a great concern in Coca-Cola. Why Coca's out for the meantime? But every issue always have a great purpose to have a dialogue to enlighten everyone. Dean Thompson says, just curious if anyone would be interested in doing some sea fishing. Dean, if you want to do that, if you have a fishing rod, you can go down to Ternate and you can rent the boats down there really, really cheap. Super cheap, and you can go fishing down there. So just FYI on that. Let's see. Dean says, Sinfuls, I think some of the golf is in order within a week or two. There we go. I like to see these guys get together. You know, I like that. I'm not a golfer, but it's good to see these guys hanging out. Hong Island says, policies probably be announced last minute, Filipino time. Dean Thompson says, Sinful's got Bindi a friend today. There we go. Bindi's Sinful's dog. 11 series Sinfuls. That's good to hear. Man, I haven't gotten rid of alcohol myself, but I don't really drink that much anyway. Sinful says, Dean Thompson in the Philippines, yes. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Sinfuls, I just want to mention that I did hear from Rich and Debbie, and they are planning on moving here, and they are starting to sell stuff, and they're calling me up, like they're gonna call me every week to check in with me to see how they're doing, and to give them any ideas that they might need. AAP says, A-rate crisp, cool 63 degrees, fall day back on. Lawrence, I bought one of those fans you got. Mine has 3 neck plates, very good. I miss Alabang. I'm actually thinking about ordering one of the ones with the 3 neck plates too. You guys see the neck cooler I wear. That has 1 neck plate in the back and it has fans, but the ones with the 3 neck plates are actually better, but there's no fans. Sinful says, Dean Thompson, the Philippines. Really, that is cool. What kind? Mark Richards, sorry for the typo as I was into my phone, but in the U.S., many people think that all Philippine people eat dogs, and it's just not true. Yeah, most people do not eat dogs here. And it's usually when they're drunk, believe it or not. Mark Richard, why would they eat a dog when this is their burglar alarm against bad strangers in the province? Focus on Asia. The gas price here and the PI needs to slow down, affecting all the costs. I need to make a Texas Roadhouse run before I can't afford it anymore. LOL. You know what? I do Texas Roadhouse probably like once a week, and I'm going to start slowing down myself because it's starting to get a little bit expensive. Probably like once a month I'll do a Texas Roadhouse run, if that. Just got to slow down. Sinful says, Mark Richard, honestly never heard of that here. Dean says, mini Dutch Hound. There we go, real small dog. Raquel Vargas says, hi Steve and everyone. How you doing, Raquel? Good to see you on here. And Joe Cunningham says, is public transportation available 24/7? You know, Joe, I've gotten up early in the morning, as early as 3 a.m. to go to Manila. And we got buses out of here. The buses were quiet, hardly any people in there. And yes, we could travel. So yes, you can get public transportation 24/7 pretty much. Raquel Vargas says, good evening to all. Sinful says, Dean Thompson in the Philippines, LOL. That's not a dog. That is a purse toy. Michael L says, Steve, have you tried calamansi juice? I have not. I just bought a lime today. I bought, was it today or yesterday? I bought a lime yesterday. I saw it for a lime here for the first time, so I bought one. I'll just mix it with my Coke. Zane Underwood says, "Do you think that the Philippines would be ideal for growing citrus? Why would there be a shortage of citrus fruits like oranges? Perhaps it's too hot." Um, we don't have a shortage of oranges around here, but they're expensive. They have gone up a lot. I have citrus growing out here. I have calamansi trees growing out here. We have two of them, and we have fruit on it right now. Actually, I don't eat it, but my girlfriend does. Catherine Falco, good evening, everybody. Michael says trying to get a turkey sandwich is almost impossible. You know what? We have turkeys living right near us, and they're kind of stinky. The mayor has them. Sinful says good to hear on Rich and Debbie. Yes, that's good news because I'm glad that they're coming. Focus on Asia. If you haven't tried the Marrakesh orange juice that they carry in SNR, try it. Has pulp, so you don't. If you don't like pulp, not for you. I don't mind the pulp. I just want some sweet orange juice. But I think I'm gonna make my own. I eat a lot of oranges too. Dean Thompson says, "Sinful, she's more like a snack." There we go. Timmy, I just have a chicken sandwich. Let's see. Sinful says, "I bought the neck cooler also. Works good." Yes. Yeah, they are good. I'm gonna buy the one with the 3 plates though. I'm gonna change it up. Sinful says, "I love drinking a juice here called locally brand. I drink mangosteen and dragon fruit. So good. I bought some that's Sunny D. It's kind of sweet, but it's okay. But it tastes like Tang. But I like it. It does have some real juice in there too." Timo Cruz says, "Disney movies always send a message to every generation that love is the only way to break any curse in this world, and cursed in prophecy and end times." Let me see. Dean Thompson. Sinfuls, I have found that at the store, and it is very good. For Android 101, Ronnie and CISO, I'm in Frank, Colorado. Go to the Philippines November to April. Yeah, those are good times. I say March. if you had to pin me down, I'd say March. Avoid the typhoons if one can afford it. 6 months in the Philippines and 6 months elsewhere is the perfect life. I don't know about that. I live here and I like it here. The real Rita Magdalena. Here we go. "Hello, me and my husband always watch your videos. Thanks for sharing your journey. God bless you and your girlfriend. By the way, where to connect fellow expats in the area. Where are you at?" We're in Tracy Martirez. If you send me an email at steven5975@yahoo.com, we can hook you up with us, and we can meet up if you want and see if you want to get into our group. We'll see if we're a match. Most of the people fit right in. We have a good group. Michael L says calamansi and Coke, awesome. All right, well, I'm not gonna put calamansi in my Coke. I'm gonna put the lime in there though. Great with honey and tea. Sinful says, "Dean Thompson, the Philippines. Yes, my drink fridge is full of it." Raquel Vargas says, "Fly soon back to work, Hong Kong." Michael L, dragon fruit is delicious also. I don't drink dragon fruit. I never tried it. Zane Underwood, when I was a kid, I used to love the frozen orange juice bars. I used to love eating the concentrated orange juice. Right, I would spoon it right out and just eat it like that. I used to put it in a plate and it had that big clump. When it come out of that can thing there, and I used to eat it like that, and it was really good. Or I'd mix it up and make orange juice. But I did like eating it like that too. It was very sweet though. Dean Thompson in the Philippines. Our house should be finished within a week, and then we are going to buy a new car. Looking at buying the Geely Escara. Hong Island says 4 plates next. I don't know if they have any with 4 plates. I've only seen them with the 3. Patriot says, "Fellow New Englander here." There we go. It's good to have a fellow New Englander. I actually talked to a guy from Arlington, Massachusetts the other day. It's one of the guys I spoke about before. He's on like about $350 to $450 budget, and he says he's coming here, and he wants to live here. And I told him, "Don't come because but he says he wants to come here no matter what." And I says, "The only way you can survive here is if you got a girlfriend that's working." And I think that's what he's looking for, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend him coming here for nothing. But he says he's coming no matter what. So for Android 101, can Magic Jack be used to receive SMS? No, it will not work for that. But there is a app for that that will give you a number, and the messages can be sent to that. I have no one in the USA to take calls for me. Should I keep or dump a permanent real phone number in the USA? You know what? That's a good question. There is an app out there, and the guy sent me the name of the app, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me. And I'd have to go through a ton of emails to try to find it. I'm going to see if I can do a video on that probably within the next month or so, if I can find the name of that app. It gives you a phone number, and you just tell your bank to send the SMS text to that. Francisco Fletes says, have you found some good, legit New England clam chowder, Steve? You know what? TGI Fridays. And it's really, really good, you know? They put clams in it too, real clams. And they have the shells and everything. And that sits on the bottom. And I'll tell you, the Filipinos actually made a good chowder. I'm not sure that it's like that back in the States at TGI Fridays, because I've never had the New England clam chowder there before. But I will say that their chowder was very good. And I've had it twice. And everybody that has had it liked it. Tahari says, squeeze your own oranges. Yes, that's what I'm thinking about doing. But it's expensive. It's very expensive for a glass of orange juice. Man, you squeeze 5 oranges over here at what they charge for an orange, and you're going to go broke. You know, Randy Schmidt says, funny what we ate as kids. Amazing we are alive today. Yes, it's true, because that's a lot of sugar. Even though it's not refined sugar, it's a lot of sugar. You know, Dean Thompson in the Philippines. Hey, just in case I forgot, happy Father's Day to everyone. Thanks, Dean. You also, man. Zane Underwood says, that's so funny, Steve. I used to do that with grape juice, frozen grape juice. Spoon it out. The can was like super concentrated grape powder. You know what? You just reminded me. I actually have some grape juice around here, and I'm kind of hankering for some grape juice. I might have that with a nice glass of ice tonight. So, Sinful says, Francisco Flet says, I found some at restaurant near me at Soledad Mall. Mark Richard, is it true that a foreigner can't get a new car loan unless they are married to a Filipino or resident of at least 2 years? That I'm not sure about. I'm not. I really don't know. I really couldn't answer that one for you, Mark. I wish I could. Maybe somebody else on here can answer. Michael L says, for Android, my Google Fi forwards SMS shortcodes just fine. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to check that out. Dean Thompson, the Philippines. Google Voice will get security text messages. Okay. I'll have to check that out. There is an app though for $2 a month you can get. A app says Junior will be eating lots of bananas and canned tuna. I actually have tuna in a bag from Bumblebee Tuna. It's pretty good. I get it from Landers, and I buy a box of 10 of them, and it's good. It's really good. Focus on Asia says $400 a month budget, better like rice, sardines, and water. Well, that's what I kind of told him. I says, you're going to be eating Filipino food for the rest of your life and then some. And I says, if you don't get cola raises, you're going to be dead in the water. And I try to explain to him that he might be visiting window 1 at the embassy fairly quick, you know, but he just doesn't want to listen. I told him, I said, you're losing everything, because he has housing, he has food, I think he has food stamps, and he's going to be losing $400, I think, per month by coming over here, he says, because he has SSI or SSDI, one of the ones that you lose when you come into the country. That's what he has. See, Dean Thompson in the Philippines says, I get rid of Magic Jack app and the Google Voice is free. Okay. I'll never get rid of my Magic Jack app because I use it so often and it is my number. But I might get Google Voice just to have it. I'll have to add it to my phone though. Michael L says there are also services like Call Hippo that will give you a virtual mobile in phone number from any of 150 nations. Okay. It's that time says, hi Steve, I would like to communicate with you. Would you put your email in chat, please? Sinfuls can do that for you. Sinfuls, can you put up my email again? The Steven5975 @yahoo.com. So he has that for Android 101, it's up further if you go up to the string. But Steven with a V 5975 @yahoo.com. There we go. He's already got it on there. Thanks, man. You're quick. Mark Richard, I'm thinking of getting a pre-approved loan at my credit union. if I have to and wire the money. You know what? That's what I did. I've actually gotten, personal loans over here, and it's not that hard. Actually, Citibank offered me one, and I took it. Sinful says I like white grape juice. Yeah, I like white grape juice too. I like the regular grape juice the most though. Dean Thompson says Sinfuls. Jen is telling everyone she talks to about your Italian restaurant. Okay. Um, there's an Italian restaurant over at Evian Mall. You know. Um, I think you're talking about the one over. Yeah, you're talking about the one over near Sinfuls. But there's one also at the Evian Mall. It's Mamma Mia's or something like that. Dean, you might want to check into that one. It's over in Alabang. Okay. Um, A Dal- Dalandin juice is very tasty. Motivational Echoes says it's a good idea to make supplements for lack of vitamins. Yes. To take supplements. Yes, definitely. Over here, I agree with that. Zane Underwood says same here, Sinfuls. I like the Welch's white grape juice. Sinful says Dean Thompson in the Philippines. Good. LOL. Best Italian in the PI. I gotta try that Mamma Mia's and see if that's any good. I haven't gone for Italian food in a long time. There's also, I think there's another Italian place right next to Texas Roadhouse in the Conrad building too. And I don't know how they are, whether they're good or not. Patriot says, is the drilled well water good to drink in the Philippines? I'm not sure. I've never talked to anybody that has well water here. I'm not sure. I couldn't really answer that. Dahari says, I remember the old frozen orange juice. It had a picture of Donald Duck on the red label, if I remember correctly. The ones I had didn't have Donald Duck, but it was pretty good. It wasn't that bad when you mix it. It tastes like regular orange juice. Francisco Fleta says, I recommend buying a certified used car cash rather than taking out a car loan. Interest rates are over 15 to 20% on new cars. Terrible investment. Let's see. Michael L says Bumblebee and Chicken of the Sea tastes the same as the local Century tuna brand. Okay, that's interesting to know. Timo Cruz, flag of the Philippine nation, where the sun surrounded the 3-star is Ra, the god of Egypt, has sun. Sinful says, Patriot, I have 45-gallon purified water bottles delivered each week for $2. That's a good deal. Timmy, first time here. You sound legit and kind. Subbed. Thank you. Patriot says thanks. DK Gaming PH, do you plan to avail SpaceX and Starlinks? I plan on getting that Starlink Wi-Fi. I do plan on doing that for sure. Brooke Snyder says T-Mobile has $40 a month plan that works worldwide. That's expensive though, because you can get one for $2 in an app. So texting, data, and calls, it works until you find a better texting option. Because I get all the calls on the Magic Jacks for like $20 a year. Also, you can do the app, and I have the app, but I'm grandfathered in. But now it's like $5 a month or $6 a month to do that, I think. But I believe they're working on the text stuff, so that might be changing with Magic Jack at some point. Francisco Fleta says, I have the T-Mobile plan. Michael L says, that T-Mobile plan is fine for SMS. However, data is only at 2G speed. Yes, I heard that too. I'm not sure if that's totally true, but I did hear somebody say that the speeds are really slow. Dahari, TGI Friday garlic mashed potatoes are the best. Jim Frechette says, hi, Steve. Happy Father's Day. What happens to the resident Visa 10K deposit or investment? Do you ever get access to it, or is it gone forever? Well, when you die, you can use it. Your family can use it, you can use it to lease. You can use it to buy a condo. But they do put a lien against your property until you die, and then it can be taken off. Okay, so your spouse can have it taken off, or whoever gets the property. You put that in. You would have to have a lawyer write all that stuff up in the will or whatever, how that works. Okay, and you can talk to Mary Rose if you work with Mary Rose. She'll help you with that. Sinful says, my Italian restaurant is the best, I promise. Zane Underwood says, I love Italian food. My favorite is cannelloni. It's very hard to find good cannelloni. Cologne. Michael L says 4G is extra for T-Mobile. Francisco Fletes says I used it when I was deployed and just kept it once I retired. Dean Thompson says yes. What Sinful said. Sinful says Francisco Fletes agree on buying used cars. Bought both of ours that way. Haven Personal Care retiring after 25 years of service. Would 4,000 be enough for a family of 4 in your area? Hell yeah. You could easily make it here with even with a family of 4. We have 4 living here, so and more. And 4K is perfectly fine. That's about what I make. Dean Thompson is in the Philippines. Patriot, if you drill a well, just make sure that you have the water tested before you drink it. Yes, they do have some problems with water here in some spots, so be careful. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, yeah, I used the Philippine Smart 5G plan and hotspot my US T-Mobile phone. Dahari says, Walmart sells a large assortment of tuna in bags, various flavors, lemon, herb, garlic, tea. I get the plain bumblebee tuna in the packages, and it's pretty good. Francisco Fletes says, then just carry both phones on me. Patriot says, thanks, Dean Thompson. Dean Thompson in the Philippines says, I'm in for Starlink as soon as it starts delivery here in the Philippines. I see we have been moved to pending. That's good. Yeah, I definitely want to get the Starlink here. The RV one might be the one to get because it's easy to move around, I heard. So, I don't know if I'd want to put it out there during a storm, though. Sinful says, sadly, I have to keep my Verizon account for the time being to my authenticator codes. Now I understand. I need to do that for one of my accounts pretty soon because I want to have my bank account on my phone rather than on my computer. Dahari says that's a good idea, Francisco. Dahari says the phones. Lloyd White says happy Father's Day. Thanks for everything. Francisco Fletes says yeah, those authenticator codes and one-time pins from Navy, Fed, and USAA are the main reason I keep us aligned. It is a pain. That it is. We're gonna end up ending here, guys. I'll read a couple more. Let me see. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie. Steve, do you need to be a military veteran to get the SRV visa? No, you don't. You don't have to, but you pay more. The military veterans get a break. Dahari says there is a higher profit margin on used cars right now in the States. Sinful says, Dahari, yes, I sold my Lincoln that I bought almost 4 years ago for more than I paid when I left. AAP says, Steve, thank you for all your great information. I just want to thank you guys tonight. We'll be back on here probably next Saturday at 10 o'clock again. The only reason we wouldn't be on here is if our internet gets kind of glitchy here. That's why we do want to have Starlink. So when it's glitchy here, we just don't go on because it's just too much. It's too much of a hassle to bother because it keeps on shutting down. You guys have been on here when we have bad nights here, so you guys know what it's like sometimes. Some of you guys have been on here. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on here tonight, and we'll see you next week. And be sure to watch today's video, and we're going to have a lot of good videos coming up this week too, guys. Okay? And if you guys have any ideas for something you want me to talk about or whatever, or give me you want me to comment about, just let me know. I'll comment about it. There's probably a good chance, unless I've done it already. Just send me an email at Steven5975, and I'll see. I might do it. Just give me some ideas because we're looking for some new ideas. Believe it or not, I've done 1,000 videos, so it's getting a little bit tougher to come up with ideas for videos. We are going to do some walk around videos. I am going to show some other stuff, and we're going to show some of our group stuff, but I'm looking for more videos that I can chat about while I'm doing a walk in the park or something. So if you guys have any ideas, guys, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. I want to thank Sinfuls tonight for moderating on here tonight, and thank you guys for asking all the good questions tonight. God bless, guys. Take care.